good seeing you here at the Nashville Analytics Summit. Who are you?
Of course, my name is Eric Nichols. I'm a director for CGI in Nashville.
And what do you do as a director for CGI in Nashville?
So I build and manage technical teams, many that are in the data and analytics space, and then I work with clients to understand how we can better leverage data to meet their objectives, and then when I can marry building the teams that need to solve clients' problems by creating career growth for our people, that's whenever it's a good day for me.
Oh, that's awesome. So I know, I've known you for a while. Like, this is insider stuff, but I don't think I knew that you guys built data products for your customers. Is that true?
It's all custom. We don't have a lot of IP in that space, but we work with customers to try to understand sort of how they want to leverage their data, oftentimes how to want to clean up their data. Many times we're building a new custom application and how to migrate their data appropriately where you can still apply all the business rules and such from a previously system that's 30 years old to a new modern cloud-based kind of architecture, sort of the gamut between all sort of those kinds of things. There's also data and analytics of trying to help them understand what they did yesterday, as well as the predictive analytics for how they're trying to leverage data to predict what they need to do from a business perspective.
So you're a data team for hire?
Essentially, yes. We are certainly provide data teams where we're trying to really work with clients and understand how they need to use their data to move their business forward and how we can partner together to do that.
Oh, that's awesome. So this is your first analytics summit, or no?
I've been coming to this since it was at the Lipscomb Spark Center 9 years ago. So I think this is my 8th or 9th time here.
Okay, so then I've got additional questions for you. So this year seems to be all about AI and like everything that it brings to the table. Is that like what's something that's kind of changed this year between years, and why is it Gen AI?
Yeah, for sure. I was talking about someone about this yesterday. As I remember a quote that someone said from the very first year that they said, I don't even think we're in the information age, we're in the data age. We have a lot of data, but we don't know what to do with it yet. I think we've made a lot of strides since then from an AI perspective, from a just predictive analytics perspective, but I still think there's a long way to go. I think there's a lot of hype around AI, and I think it is going to be a transformative technology. But I also just think there's a lot of steps that people are missing if they still have a lot of data in 7 systems and they don't have a way to really consolidate all of that data and get it all in one place to where they can really leverage it. So I feel like there's a lot of hype around AI, but I still think we're moving towards the information age, so to speak, because we have been in this age where we have a lot of data, but aren't sure what to do with it.
Oh, that's cool. So what's something that you learned at this show? This year.
I think one of the most informative sessions and things that I've learned is all the things you have to think about when you put guardrails around AI. There's so much hype. There's so much things that we are leveraging for it already that are meaningful, but I think there's a lot of work to do in order to make sure that we're using it responsibly. For example, one of the speakers mentioned how for example, they don't do targeted marketing for AI that leverages AI for minors because they're just afraid that it's possible they could deliver some inappropriate content.
Oh, wow.
I think it's just important that we're thinking about how are we governing it, how are we securing it, how are we making sure that data privacy and all of those things that are maybe a little more mundane and boring things are accounted for as we're thinking about how to leverage AI for the future.
Yeah, you'd hate to get miles down the road and figure out that you didn't account for something that breaks everything.
That's right.
So, final question: like, what's something that excites you about data in the future? Like 2-3 years down the road, like what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I've been a technologist my whole life, but part of the reason I like consulting and part of the reason I've been a lot involved in data for many years is because I like how closely it aligns with the business. So I'm really excited, and a common theme I've heard a lot is we have to be thinking about how are we leveraging or how are we meeting business objectives. I think there was a speaker who was talking about we're going to spend 10 to $20 million in cloud spend to process models and things like that. And then they're like, well, we have to make sure that aligns to the business, right? And that's always been sort of my first mindset is how are we leveraging technology to move the business forward for whatever organization you're working with. So I'm just excited to see how AI really partners with business stakeholders to be able to take sort of data science things from a, hey, this is cool, to operational, productionalized solutions that are really helping businesses transform how they can do work, how they can optimize their processes, how they can change how their workforce and clients are able to be successful.
Oh, that's cool. So I think everybody's agenda for 2024 is to how do we get AI all up in our operations for sure. But we did a roundtable earlier with a group of chief data officers, and that was basically what they were saying too. It's like they're looking at data from a holistic perspective in order to facilitate the entire business as a single unit, as opposed to individual silos with different objectives and different goals and things like that. So thanks for coming out and talking to us, Eric. And so next year you've got to come out and tell us how you've integrated AI into all your operations and whatnot.
We'll see what I can do. I'll leave you this one thing related to AI. This is something that someone, one of the speakers, I wish I could give appropriate credit, the very first year I ever came to this said, when we're talking about data and analytics in general, said, I always ask my customers, what decision are you going to make, or what action are you going to take? And if they couldn't answer, then I said, well, then I'm not going to provide the data solution for you. And I think that still holds true even now, nearly 10 years later, from an AI perspective, is you have to understand how you're going to action it, or what decision you're going to make differently because of how you're investing. So
that's awesome. That's a great, well put. And so if you figure out who that was, let me know, and I'll put that in the show notes.
I will.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.